Yep. Yeah. Is this working? Is this working? All right. Not terrible. Not wonderful, but not terrible. All right, Dad found us. This is working. Does the volume sound all right? Sound good? Give me a thumbs up or give me elbows up. Hey, Mr. Osgood, welcome in. We're testing the mics, testing the wireless mic here as we're just poured a fresh cup of Tweak of coffee. Don't know what it is about my equipment. I tried going live several times. It finally worked. Had to turn my phone off and on again. Seemed to be the trick. Max is freaking out. Sound could be louder. Let's see. Does this make a difference? Is that coming in clear? Proper egress. Yeah, we don't have any safety sallies around here, so we just live on the edge. Let's see. Is that any better? Not loving this. Okay. All right, we're working on the 2004 Ford Super Duty 2-day. In a few minutes. Show you how far I've gotten here. First, let's do some e-bagging here. I'm gonna pin the buy me a coffee link at the top of the chat here. Thank you, Dad, for coming through. If I can edit this on the fly here. Let's just see what kind of capabilities we got here. I think we can. Yeah. That link is in the description as well. More or less. Well, this is ergonomic, but it's handy. All right. Let's go see what Max is barfing about. Show you the small amount of progress I've made so far. Okay, so today we're gonna finish reassembly of the oil rail on the driver's side here. Let's flip you around. So the injectors are tightened down in their little holes there. Injector wells. I'll show you what I got done on this side. So on this side I put the fuel rail back in, the snap to connect fittings. There's one there. And there's the standpipe at the other end of this fitting. And so we have to go about assembling the other side the same as this. But first, I wanted to show you these snap to connect fittings. So we got, this is the passenger side fuel rail. And I got the standpipe inside the house. Well, we want to check this fitting here. I never checked this one yet. I'm assuming these nipple cup seals are all good, because those rarely fail. Justin's in the house. Okay, so there's actually a special tool you can get probably from Ford or Amazon. Jeff Bezos has a shed full of tools, I guess. But really, it's just a matter of pulling this rubber release ring back. And on the other rail, I was able to just pop it off with my fingers. So let's go about trying to do that with this one. As we got Max kind of photo bombing here. It's just a matter of pulling up on that seal, so that stays in place there. Because we wanted to check to see how this seal inside here looks. And to me, some dirt or damage. I'm just looking at it in the light here behind the camera. I think it's okay. I think there's just some grime in there. So this one, at some point, so these came from the factory with just an O-ring in there to seal that up. And it looks like somebody put the nylon backer washer and a fresh O-ring in there at some point. And it still looks good. Like, it doesn't look like... Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm gonna grab a pick, see if that's just some grime in there. Be right back. So here's the seal kit. I use some of the seals, but let's see here. Got a pick set. We're just gonna look around in there. Oh no, that's pretty rough. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this out of here. Don't know if you could see that, but there's looks like some mice have been chewing on that. Pretty rough looking. Yeah, it's definitely, let's see here. Yeah, you can see right at the 12 o'clock position there, it's pretty chowdered. So I'm glad I checked that one. Okay, and this one has the nylon backing washer on it. Scrape that out of there too. Replace it with a new one. Cigarette went out anyway. All right, let's focus on the job at hand here. Bumping the microphone. And grab a sturdier pick too. And we can go inside. I could show you that up pipe because I did replace a seal in one of the up pipes. The other one was fine. So if it's good, I kind of don't feel a need to replace it, but if it's no good, definitely want to replace it. So this sits in the valve cover into the cylinder head, and this end threads into that Y pipe off the oil output from the high pressure pump, and then this piece will snap in there. So there's a seal inside there that was replaced. Let's grab this pick here. See if we can dig that sucker out. Very good light in here. It's coming. Not easily, but it's coming. There. All right. Yeah, so that was starting to get all the dog hair off of that. Fell on the floor. So I didn't damage that bringing it out. It was starting to get a little crustified. Yeah, maybe I did chowder it up a bit. Regardless, we're going to replace that. So we'll grab our seal kit here. It's going to be one of these big honkin' washers. Better make sure there's 3 that look very similar. Make sure they're not all the same. Or if they are all the same, there's one more snap to connect fitting that I don't want to go in after unless I have to, and that's the one right on the high pressure pump itself. So these all look identical. So somehow Ford managed to use the same size fitting on the J tube. Don't know what that is. Not terribly important. And I drop another seal. There he is. Getting all covered in pet hair. Clean them off. So we just slide that little guy in there. Let's see if I can get some oil in here. There's just a groove that it sits in. So the seal goes in first. Just nestle them in there. Oh, kind of missed it. Gently coax him into his little channel there. Kind of fold it up on me. Shoot. Don't want to get too rough with them. I think that got it. I think I got it. Okay. roll a bit. Just want to make sure he's seated in there properly. Brennan Mitchell stumbles in. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. This doesn't seem like he's sitting in there properly. Oh, that's better. Just using a small flat-headed screwdriver to coax them into position. Okay, and then we take one of these nylon things. I thought they were broken, but there's a little split in them, and so you can stick. It's kind of on an angle here. It's hard to see. Where's a good? There you can see it's a beveled. So we're gonna put the lower beveled end in first, and it's gonna sit right above that seal we just put in, the O-ring. So just work it around, and then once it's in, it should just sit in place there. Something don't feel right. Something's a little off. All right, come on. I'm just gonna make you get in there. Almost, not quite. Oh, I think I might have bent him up a bit. Yeah, we're gonna take this one out. I got a little too aggressive with him. So. Yeah, let's put a fresh one in there. So what I'm trying to do is work it around one end, get the one end started, and the other end is supposed to settle in place right behind it. So try that again. Almost there. Come on. There. So, okay, I coaxed it in there, so it's sitting nice. This one was getting a little bit chowdered here. It's still usable, but so I had replaced the similar seal up at the top of this one. Same thing. There was a small O-ring and a small nylon backer. And the idea there is when these came from the factory, they just had had an O-ring in them, and they would blow out that O-ring. And so Ford came up with a fix, or maybe International did. I think Ford did, where they put an O-ring in and a nylon backer to give that O-ring a little bit better chance of holding up to the high pressure oil. Because this, as I said, the high pressure oil is coming from the pump into here. It flows through this tube into the oil rail, and then down to the injectors through those nipple cups. Jethro's here. He's ready to do some wrenching. Okay, let's light up the smoke again. Don't know what happened here. Lost my fire. Let there be light. And we're still waiting to hear back from the Bigfoot guy. I hope he didn't ghost me, but he's still around. So, do you have the chicken rings? Chicken rings. Am I reading that right? Chicken wings? Rings? Yeah, I got them. Oh, you got the MK Ultra trigger word already in the chat. Yeah, nobody's restreaming this shit. This is brutal. I was thinking of doing a Tweak a Burrito Tuesdays, but it's actually not. The next one I want to make is not a Tweak a Burrito. It's actually a good burrito. Rooster rings. Cock rings. Oh yeah, we're cock ringed up. Absolutely. So this is pretty much ready to go back in, and I'll just show you my process. I forgot to do something on that last injector, but it shouldn't be too bad because it looked all right. We're going to cross our fingers. If you had been watching the injector resealing tutorial, I had always seated that top seal against the nipple ring, or nipple, not nipple ring, nipple cup outlets. But the way I put it back in, it's pretty gentle. It should just slide right on in there. Oh, there we go. The nipple rings, yeah. No nipples on my rings. Ah! Smoke right in the eye. Dang. Show us the cock rings. It's this little guy right here. So that's it's about 7/16 of an inch, about a millimeter or a centimeter for you guys? Very tiny, very tiny. Not much to work with, unfortunately. Not much to work with. Well, at least I don't have a gynecologist like some streamers, right? The alleged XX, they're not the manosphere, they're the gynosphere. You heard of the manosphere? Well, there's an element of YouTube that's masquerading as men, but they're kind of gyno operationals. The femboys. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go outside. We'll come back for a cold cup of coffee in a few minutes. Let's go see what kind of destruction we can get going out there. Yeehaw! All right. So the first part of the process will be to put this guy back in, and this is going to fit into what's known as the Y tube, I believe some call it, which feeds both sides of the engine with high pressure oil, namely this stuff. This is low pressure. This is at 1 atmosphere. Well, this is low pressure oil. We're just going to get a little bit on this O-ring here. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see this. I'm going to need a 18 millimeter, which I got right here, and 3/8 drive ratchet, which I got right here. I'll flip this around. I think I know how to do that. There we go. Doing this all without a trouble light. So it's gonna be hard. So you see this hole right here? That's not where we're going. There's another one back here. So we're just gonna drop that in there, or work that in there. Get it started by hand. Let's get the first few threads to catch. Did I get it? What did I just hit here? Turn that off. Direct D amongst others. Sorry about the dead air, guys. Try to focus here. Okay, I need a little extension. Here, we'll use this one. Can't tell if I'm threading it in there correctly. Oh yeah, there he goes. Don't know if you're catching that. Nope. So we're not going to get too crazy torquing this down. I don't have torque specs. We're going to get it snug. I don't want to go too tight on that because the tube at the other end is prone to bending, so we'll do we'll just tighten it to tweaker foot-pound. And I had wiped down the surface where the valve cover gasket is going to sit after this is all said and done. Being careful not to knock anything into the valve carriage here. Just get this greasy crap off of here. Just tweaky crap. Just a gentle wipe. It's not all crudded up. It's pretty clean down here. See, we're already dripping snot all over the side of the radiator shroud. So the valve covers are not going back on because until I do the air test, the leak test. That was the whole purpose of this exercise, was to detect air leaks. So is right here. So we got it torqued down snug. The next part of this process is to grab this dude and we got to align all these cups with the tops of the injectors. We'll set this here for a bit. Probably could have used the proper trifold here. Okay, Max will keep you entertained while I take a piss. Then we'll get back after this. Can you hear me? Can you hear me pissing? Is this microphone still connected? You guys will have to let me know if we lost connection on the mic. I don't know how much of a range we got on this receiver and transmitter setup. Did you hear me piddling? Could you hear me? Is the mic still connected? I hear you. I hear you. All right. Okay, so what we want to do is Arrange these so they're as close to centered and straight as possible. And then it's going to be difficult to capture this well for you guys. We'll try. Okay. I'm going to show you here. So all those cups have fit into the top of an injector somewhat well. Now, I think I've seen other guys, they try to push them in at this point and get them all set or seat. What I'm going to do is start the fasteners and just draw that whole rail down bit by bit. So there's just 8 of these 8mm. So we're just going to get some of them started here, or at least located. Yeah, I got my pecker pierced. There's a big hole right in the tip. I don't know where that came from. I'm always spraying a leak out of it. All right, let's get at least one started. Let's find a spot for you guys to sit here. Ooh, that one's not going in right. Get that out of there. Didn't cross thread that. Yikes. Yeah, that one doesn't feel good. Okay, that one went in okay. What did I do on this one? I might have to chase that out. Shit. Yeah, let's start over. That's gonna make for a bad bad day if I cross thread that sucker. Should probably get a tap and do this, but yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Getting a little careless there. All right, so let's go search for taps. I don't know how easy that's going to be to find. Thought I just saw them earlier today. Yeah, they're probably in these boxes down here. Shit. Do I have any of them elsewhere? I think they're like down here. I wonder if I could just sneak that one out. Let's see, if you hear a big crash, you'll know that we're going to be done here. So. Nope, not that bucket. Not in here. It is in this one. No, it's definitely not in there. Not in here. Okay, this is not going to be simple. Oh, they're right here. Let's pull that out just to try to make this easier. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to move all this shit. Yeah, I thought I could persuade it to come out. I grabbed the wrong carton. Okay, let's see how easy this can go. Box is full of parts and tools. Nasty business here. Automotive fluids, all kinds of crap. All right, we're getting there. This guy back in here. Pull this guy out of here. Oh, that's where I left those gloves. I think it's at the bottom of this one here. Oh yeah. All right, that wasn't too bad. I got him. Okay. No idea what size tap I need. Let's go grab a fastener. Let's see if we can figure this out. I think it might be time for a smoke here soon. All right, so I need a thread like that. Let's see what we can find here. It's going to be metric. It's probably a M6. Yeah, that's what it is. M6 by 1. Now, let's see if I got the right. No. I want to go find a 8-pointed socket to fit on here, because I don't have enough room for the typical wrench. So this is a square head on the top of the tap. And it's tapered at the end, so it'll go past the bad threads and then start cleaning it up with the good threads here. Now, how long is it going to take me to find 6-pointed or 8-pointed sockets? Well, let me see. I can't even remember where I have those. Will 12 points work? No, probably not. Six points or 8-pointed sockets. Now that's a good one. Where the heck would I have those? Anybody? Anybody remember where I put those? I might just go in with a crescent wrench and try to... Yeah, I might not even have one this small. Yeah, let's see what we can... Yeah, maybe this will fit. We'll try the T-bar. I don't think I have enough room to work around in there, but you never know. Yeah, those handles are just too much. Okay, so we'll try a different tactic. Okay, we'll try to start it by hand. And we'll use this dude here. Hopefully not make the problem worse. I should have been a little more careful there. Just got very tight turning it in there. Went to start it. So this valve carriage is just made of aluminum, very soft. There. I'm not cutting new threads, just clean up the top ones that we chowdered up there. So here's my tap. So it's going in straight, so it feels like I could pull it out by hand. More or less. Few little aluminum shavings in there, but that's not going to hurt much of anything. Most of it came out on the tap itself. So. Better. There. Just gonna run that fastener in there like this. Make sure it's nice and ready for when I go to torque it. There. That's feels somewhat better. I can live with that. All right, let's start over. Are we still alive? We're gonna take a quick run inside, see if we're still going here. Besides, I need a smoke. Need a smoke and a slurp. Slurp of that coffee. Yeah, we're still alive, apparently. All right. Half a cup of cold coffee. Put this out of the way. Put my pecker rings back in the package. Where'd that nasty one go? Oh, here's the nasty nylon backer. So I've got one spare for the small snap to connect, and two for the larger snap to connects. Always time for a smoke. There we go. Oh yeah, here was the nasty one. I got a little collection of all the nasty seals that I've been pulling out of that high pressure system. So stick that in the collection. The majority of them were still good, but I got that injector seal set, so I figured may as well do all of those. Those ones aren't really subject to a lot of heat, but they are subject to significant pressure. There's not a ton of heat at the top of the valve covers there. And the combustion happens way at the bottom. So here's an injector. The seals I was most concerned about were these ones. These ones are just pretty much regular O-rings. All the heat is this is the business end of this guy. At the pecker end. At the ejaculation end. But up here, there's not a lot of heat going through. Like this thing is it's got to weigh close to a pound, if not more. That's probably a couple of pounds right here. I'd say a little more than 2 pounds. So that stainless steel injector, it's not going to push any heat from the combustion chamber up to the top seals, and the high pressure oil is not, it's just engine temperature. So maybe, well, I guess 200 degrees Fester is pretty hot. Somewhere in there, 180, 200. So yeah, I just came in here for a smoke. We're still going strong on the Tweak stream. Ford loves 8mm and tweakers love 8mm too. Don't you know? Don't you know? Minnesotans love 8mm, don't you know? So we'll see how far we get on this. It's, what is it, 3 o'clock already? It starts getting dark here pretty rapidly. I was hoping to get this slapped together so we could, yeah, there was a couple other things I wanted to show you how I do it without wrecking threads on anything. Well, let's take this fuel rail, try this again. So we're going to line up the tops of the injectors with our nipple rings. And let's get one started without cross threading, if that's possible. We did it on the other side. I don't know why this side's fighting me a bit. Oh, that one doesn't want to go. Let's get 1/4 inch extension. Let's put this tap away before I lose it. All right. Crescent wrench fell down here. Okay, so 18mm we're done with. Let's go like this. Extension. This is probably too long an extension. I have a short one over here. I got a shorty. I had one. Thought I brought everything over this side. Am I hallucinating? Maybe I didn't have one. Let's crawl on up here. to see this. This will be for the members only shot. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he stayed up. Oh, I'm going to drop it. Nope. Usually I drop them. That's just the way I roll. Okay. That one I think is started. There we go. And I want to start another one. And one on the bottom. So this side is a little trickier than the driver's side because the air box is right here. This side's where I'm working. It's not terrible. We're going to start these son of a bitches by hand. This one is going to be a little bit of a dink. Don't drop the fastener. Let's reposition here. One at the very back on the bottom. And that one I cross-threaded, I think I'm going to leave out for now. I'll just put them in after the fact. So here's what we're dealing with. I started all my fasteners on the rail. So here's the one I stripped out and repaired. But there's one at the bottom, another one here, two way at the back on the bottom side, and then two at the back. There's one behind this plug. There's one at the very back there. You can see I took my finger. So those are just kind of snugged down. Started. Then we're going to draw them all down evenly to seat those to seat them cups into the injectors. And it's getting snotty here. Max is getting tweaky and festery. I think I used sockets on all these. So we'll kind of start at the inside and work our way out. Which way are we going? Let's tighten. Just a little bit at a time. Sorry about that, guys. I might need a shallow 8mm, which I had here too. Or did I? I did have one. Pretty sure. Maybe I was tripping. Oh, here's that short extension with the short 8mm. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, I got this pecker size extension. But this deep well 8mm is a little too much to get in between my fasteners and the air box there. Top one first. I'm going to set you down. I don't know if I can do that one-handed. Some things I can do one-handed, but not this. It's just the way it is in life sometimes. Doing this without any trouble light either, so basically feeling my way around in here. So, you can see there's a little gap between the top of the injector, you see that shiny thing in there? That's those nipple cup ends. So we're just going to draw them slowly into the tops of the injectors. And then you can see here too, this is the one I stripped out. There's a little gap. Lighting's not great there. It's a little gap between this ear and the part of the carriage that seats on. So we're going to close up that gap as we draw it all down. Work the back. Yeah, the deep well again. Or let me just set you down. I'll use two hands here. I see Jody stumbled in. Welcome, Jody. Mostly just feeling around here. Just working my way back and forth. See, the gap is closing up there. Very mild day out here today. It is just right around, or just maybe a little below freezing. Do a weather update. A few minutes. We're almost there. I'm having to switch back from the deep well to the shallow well, just because of the clearance I'm working with here. I think we're almost there. Almost there. So my gap is closed up here. They're all snug, except for the ones I can't really get to because of clearance. Let's try this one at the back. Okay, so let's put this fastener in here. We had caused some destruction a few minutes earlier. Let's get him started. Okay, that one's snug. That's snug. That's snug. Back to the shallow well. This is gonna be a reach under here. That one there is snug. This one is snug. Okay. So I'm just fastening the one at the very back on the bottom of the fuel rail. There's no way I can show you this. Can't even see the head of the fastener from here. Okay, that's snug. One beside him is a little tight as well to reach as well, so I'll snug him down. All right, those are all snug, so we're gonna give them a little torque down. They only need several foot-pounds. I'm not gonna get a torque wrench out. I don't know what the torque specs are on these. Again, we'll do tweaker foot-pounds, starting in the middle. The ones I was working on just now are like here and back there, so you can't even see the heads of the fasteners. So, what am I looking at here? This one, we'll just incrementally do a torque pattern from outside to inside. And we'll go a couple times around. That's like 10 foot-pounds. Somewhere around 15 foot-pounds is probably what we need. Okay, gotta go back to my shallow well. those ones in the back, which you're not going to see anyway. One there. Okay, so go around one more time. That's beauty. That's the end one. That's good. Good. Feeling around in the dark here. You guys know what that's all about. As the sun is starting to set. That one. Top back one. That's beauty. Round the head off of that one. Good. That's good. That's good. So you don't want to over torque this. Again, it's going into soft aluminum on that valve carriage. As you can see, nipple cups are no longer visible, and everything is tightened down. This gap that was here is gone. So now, oh yeah, I wanted to show you this, or a couple of things I wanted to show you. I've never seen this done on any YouTube videos, but there's a plug here and one on the other side. I think before I try to start this up, I'm going to fill this rail with motor oil, because currently there's going to be air in the system, because this is more or less empty. All those tubes are empty, and we want those injectors to be firing as quickly as possible. So rather than let the engine oil circulate through everything, I mean, my high pressure pump is buried behind the turbo here and underneath. Like you can, I wonder if we can see the housing. Well, not really. But where my air hose is going, that's going into the high pressure pump, which draws engine oil and then takes your 50 psi low pressure engine oil and pumps it up to several thousand psi of high pressure oil to go again up the standpipe into this line, through that fitting, into the rail, into the injectors. So here's that plug on this side. I think after I air test it, I'm going to fill that with this engine oil if I have a small enough funnel, and then get the mechanical injectors firing as quickly as possible instead of pumping out all that air through the injectors. So I've never seen anybody approach it that way, but I don't know what those plugs are for, other than to do what I just described to you. But I've never seen anybody do it. Maybe that's just standard practice. I don't have a Ford service manual that I'm working off of. I didn't do this the last time I had this oil rail off, but that's what I plan to do this time. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is, remember I gave you that trick to pull the injector harnesses, the injector wiring clips through the top here. So you see that's where my this is one of the injector connectors. And so I had shown you with I think an 18 or 19 millimeter how to pop this out, but we want to get it back in. And there's probably a tool to do that. Well, we're just going to get them started by hand here and just clamp them up with these guys here. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this. It's actually pretty tight in here. There may be a better method to do this, but just going with what I have on hand. So I'm just pushing at the bottom of the, ooh, it's a little too aggressive there, Brent. Yeah, a lot of room to work with here. I'll show you on the next one. There's a little more space to see. There, I think that's seated. So I'm just clamping, whoops, clamping on the top of the carriage here and the bottom of the harness. It's very hard to see this. If I go from this direction. So here's my harness. Let's see where the pigtail's coming out. I want to go one more notch if I can. Maybe not. Maybe that was right. Nope, I do want wider. So just gently popping it back in. I don't know if you saw. Did my orientation go off? Hopefully we can do it on the next one. That back one's going to be a little tricky. So you can see where the plier is sitting. Just give it a gentle squeeze. Be careful not to go into the wiring. Kind of work it. That one didn't quite pop in the way I'd like. There's still a gap there. Okay. Just being as gentle as possible here. Don't get too rough with it. One side, then the other. That one seated nice. This one seated nice. This one's got a little bit to go. Okay, I think it's seated. Feels flush all around. That one at the back. That one doesn't look like it's going to be fun. Let's see. These channel locks, they have their use, but I'm not a big fan of this tool. Almost. Oh, I think it did go. Oh, just a little more. At this point, I'm just kind of feeling around. I think I've got it. All right. So now this guy. I've found it's easier to get the small connector in first. We have to give it a little. Oh, there we go. See, it popped right in. So once it snaps in, it's in. There's just enough flex in this line. I should be able to get. Whoops. So we got that end into the up pipe, stand pipe. I got to get this one. Maybe there's not enough flex here. There we go. So we're just going to going to find a tool to ease that into place. Maybe a big flat screwdriver will do. Let's see what have we got here. Yeah, this guy. Just a little bit of gap. Once it wants to go, it's going to go. There. So it's mostly on, but it's got to snap yet. I believe. There. And that just snaps on. Whoop. Did not snap on. Let's use a extension to just pry. There. I don't know if you heard that. Now it's snapped on. So that's the high pressure oil system essentially reassembled. I don't know if my compressor is going to start up. It's been sitting under a snowbank. I think there's a... We'll give it a try. I'm going to dig around. There's a muffler in the snow here. It's going to be really loud. Is that it? Yeah, there it is. It's so cheap. Clean the ice off here. Probably just gonna fly off anyway. All right, let's see if it fires up. Oh yeah. So now we're building pressure in this yellow line. I hear air leaking already, or that could be. That muffler popped off. So to me it sounds like it's leaking way behind that turbo, which means we got more work to do here. Or is it just leaking at my fitting? Well, it's getting darkish here. I think I'll fiddle with this tomorrow. It's possible my air chuck kind of came off a bit. But the idea is to pump compressed air into the system now. And it should be able to hold air. I can't tell if maybe my fitting at the end of the yellow hose, when I grabbed that, the leaks slowed down. So it might just not be connected on that snap to connect air fitting quite properly. So I think that's enough for one day. That was a good amount of work. If I do have to go under that high pressure oil housing, that's going to require this to come off, the whole oil cooler and fuel filter assembly, the manifold's going to have to come off, the turbo's going to have to come off. I checked the turbine on the turbo. It's nice and tight, so there's no play. It's nice and smooth. No end play, no side play. So the turbo is good. But yeah, I'll deal with this in the morning or tomorrow. It's supposed to get even warmer tomorrow. Just make sure this is sealed up, but that'll be a big job if I have to go under there. That's kind of no man's land. So that'll be another couple of days work. But I think I'm just loose on my air fitting there. So we'll make sure that that's all good to go before we go any further. Max is doing something here. I don't know what. Get some of this put away. I think we're supposed to be getting some rain later this week. I was gonna get this all back together and take a drive up to the coast, visit some family in Vancouver. Friends and family. Yes, I have friends. But they're expecting like 4 inches of rain or something over the next, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's supposed to rain here. I haven't checked the forecast. Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday, Friday? I can't remember exactly. But yeah, we'll let the girl rest a little bit before we attack her again tomorrow. Because then what I'm gonna end up doing is, if I don't detect any leaks here, which I'm not expecting to, the valve covers can go back on, and then that further repair, taking the intake and everything off, they can be done with the valve covers on. Everything here, the throttle body's got to come off. Everything's got to come apart. So that's pretty involved. But I can reassemble a bunch of this. But that was the major part of it, getting all those fittings sealed up. Now the thing is, to do this test, ideally, the engine's supposed to be hot. Like, you want to get the oil flowing through there. Like right now there's just oil in that high pressure system. So you kind of want all those fittings to have a film of oil on it and seat properly. The compressed air that I'm pumping through there is not helping everything seat and seal properly. So the thing is, I can't start it unless I put it all back together. And getting that yellow hose for my testing fitting, that's a bear of a job. That's probably the hardest part of this whole thing, is getting that IPR valve out. The injector pressure regulator valve, getting that out and that fitting put in, and then getting the air hose on the fitting. It is just a bear of a job. And the cat wants something. So there you go. The PowerTweak. Okay, let's go outside. Go on. Come on. The PowerTweak shall tweak again. Hopefully sooner rather than later. What I could do too is put it all back together, see how it starts up, see if I still have that hot no start condition. Because the only place left for leaks is, as I said, at the pump itself. But it's not too hard to put what I've disassembled back together and then remove that again. It's mostly once you get to the valve covers and below, that's when it gets a little involved. So I'm just going to cover this assembly up just in case we do get some moisture of some kind in here. And oh, where's the other one? Over there. close the hood on this girl for the evening. Hopefully be taking it for a spin in the next few days. Up to now, I haven't really needed a vehicle, which is nice. Everything's kind of within walking distance. But I think what I've determined this week is I'm probably not going to be staying here locally beyond the springtime. All right, let's set you down on the hood, and you guys can listen to me take another piss. As much as I like the area, I think the tourist season is going to be too much for me based on what this facility can handle. And just opportunities to do what I want to be doing. I don't know if this is the ideal location. Like, I'm an hour from the closest good parts stores. Hour and a half away, so it might be that I do end up more or less in the Kamloops area rather than farther north up here. But we'll see. Nothing's determined at this point. Other than I'm ready for a coffee. Max probably wants to go inside for a bit, so let's help him out. Now we gotta think about supper. What do you want for dinner, Max? Well, we already know what you're getting for dinner. You're getting your little doggy cookies. But yeah, I'm gonna be on the road to the west coast, and then I'm gonna be on the road again come February, heading back to Manitoba because there's some paperwork and things to settle back there. And that'll leave, you know, another month of winter out here. And I'm thinking once the snow is melted, head to Montana, be a dental floss tycoon, if you know what I'm saying. I hear the dental floss opportunities in Montana are pretty good, but we'll see. Maybe by then the Chinese will have turned us into the 24th province. I don't know. I can't really say. Well, that's it for this portion of the Wrenching with Tweakers live stream. I hang out with you guys, see what you're saying. Oh yeah, we didn't give you the weather report. Let's put some hot water on for some coffee. Give you the weather report out here. I walked right past the thermometer. I could have shown you. Don't burn yourself, Pepper. That's an open flame. Let's go see what the weather station says. Here we go. So it's minus 2.5 tweaky degrees. which is right around 28 degrees Fester. So just below freezing here. And I did that whole job without gloves. So nice enough mild day to work outside here. Not so much as a whiff of a wind. We got about an inch of snow last night. I already swept it off the top of the truck. Kind of shook it off everywhere. Yeah, we got like that much snow last night. And just a dusting, so nothing of any consequence. And yeah, stay tuned for the Bigfoot interview. I expect that's still going to happen. I don't know exactly when. I can't give you. Oh, sorry. My trifold is malfunctioning here. Can't really give you a time frame on that. It's kind of up to the big guy. But I'll be here waiting when he wants to talk. Yeah, we'll give you a heads up once it's determined when we're gonna drop that interview. It'll be a live stream. That should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Still alive apparently. Wonderful. Let's see a little bit of Snotty here. A little shiny. Nothing too major. Nothing too major. As we eagerly await our coffee. Which reminds me, you could buy me a coffee. Anybody interested in buying me a coffee? You can buy me a coffee now. Just go to buy me a coffee. It's the pinned link at the top of the chat. Pinned comment in the description, or it's link is in the description. Are we doing it? And this is in vertical stream too. Wow. So YouTube is tweaky. I could not get this live stream started for about half an hour. So we just went vertical. I tried vertical, I tried horizontal, I tried diagonal, I tried every orientation. I tried male, I tried female, I tried everything in between. Tried every sexual orientation known. What else is going on the internet these days? Not too much. Yeah, I know exactly what they say about Bigfoot. What have you heard? I want to know. You guys have any? Should that be one of my questions to the Bigfoot guy? You know what they say about Bigfoot, right? No, I think I need to focus him a little. I'll need to. I think it's going to be an interview where I got to stay on top of the flow of things. So. Well, what do they say about Bigfoot? I know what they say, but what do you think they say? Where Wilson Matthau is what, asleep, or is he gone live too? There's nothing going on YouTube. YouTube's a scam. I think we're just having cookies for supper. If I have some left. Gotta do a grocery run. Sorry about the glare there. What else is going on? Not much going on. Like I said, just trying to map out the next couple of months here. I think I'm gonna relocate. It just doesn't seem like a place to settle long term. And there's other places I want to venture off into. There might be another trek across the northern United States of America. We'll see if I'm motivated enough to come back. Once I head back east to Manitoba, I might dip down south again and come back here in the 6 liter if it's running properly. Me and Maxie do a little trip through America on my way back to the mobile tweak shack here. Mobile tweak shed. Oh, it's like Beetlejuice. I just have to say his name. And I didn't even say it 3 times. I just said, "Where's Wassamatau?" And here he is. Yeah, hey bud. What's going up, Cracky? Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you could join us at the end of what was possibly the best live stream ever. Well, let's add a few more grounds here and make this true tweaker coffee. Let's add another 1/4 teaspoon of grounds in here. So I already brewed up a cup with this one filter. Let's load it up. Load it up with another half a teaspoon of fresh grounds. So it's a true tweaker coffee. And maybe tomorrow we'll do that tweaker burritos. But although, like I say, this recipe I have in mind is not a true tweaker burrito. It's actually going to be a good burrito. I got to make sure I got burrito the wraps. I think those other ones I have are way too stale. Missed you, obviously. No, it was more like knowing that you got nothing better to do. What's your reason for not being here? Explain yourself. Explain yourself. Well, all the wrenching was on this unit right here, so I'm doing all the wrenching on the truck right now. And once I got it back together and running, I still got to do the transmission filter. That shouldn't take too long. There's again the pan filter that attaches right to the bottom of the transmission itself. So I got to slip the transmission pan off, but it's super easy to access. Lots of room to crawl underneath there. Don't even have to jack the truck up. And then there's a secondary filter attached to the frame, just not far from the radiator, and it's pretty accessible through the wheel well, I believe. If not through the wheel well, then from underneath. It's nothing. And then I do have to pick up some transmission fluid. That stuff's not cheap. I need the low viscosity Mercron Ford Tweaka approved transmission fluid. Cheapest I've found here is about $10 a liter. And that's pretty nasty. I don't know how many liters are gonna come out, because I'm not doing a flush. I'm just doing a drain and change the filters. That thing takes like 14 liters total. But like, not everything's going to come out of the torque converter, not everything's going to come out of the transmission, so I'll just drain it and then replace what I drained with the same amount, and then bring the level up to where it's supposed to be. Ooh, there's some DMV rage going on here. Nice. It's a little bit of festering down at the motor vehicle branch, or Department of Motor Vehicles, I guess you guys call it. But yeah, I don't expect to be doing a lot of range. I'll take some tools with me on my travels, but we'll leave the RV parked here since I am paying for this spot anyway. And I'll do my run back to Manitoba and the run to Vancouver in this in the Ford. The Dodge can stay here. Yeah, should have taken the Massey Ferguson for a highway trip. That thing wouldn't have made it very far. All right, the Tweak of coffee is almost ready. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here. And I'm a little beat. I did a lot of stuff off camera. Even the stuff I had on camera with you guys live, that was not used to stretching and contorting like that anymore. Start using muscles you don't use every day. That was my day. Just starting to get that thing back in shape. All right, I think this coffee's got to be ready. Yeah, that's plenty good. Yeah, you guys are 3 hours ahead of me here in New York, no less. But yeah, not much going on. Very quiet around here. So I figured now that it's warming up, it was pretty cool over the weekend. I had those parts. It was just too cold to work outside and do what I just did and showed you guys there. So tomorrow's gonna be another mild day, and then it gets much warmer after that. It'll be plus 8 real degrees, so that's like in the 40s degrees faster. My hair was wild and untamable today, just like Andy Edwards' crazy hair, who's still off the air as far as I know. I think people are working on it. I don't know the situation there. He's streaming on Patreon if you need your Andy Edwards fix. You don't have to even pay. You could be a free member. Ooh, new subscriber. Oh yeah, we want to do the subscriber count too. Like we had set some goals for 2026. Yeah, you remember that? In 2026, we were hoping to reach 475 subscribers, and look at this. We're shit. Let's see. Where is it? What does that say? 481. I thought, yeah, okay. We were at 474 on the last stream. And I guess a few people dug their sock accounts out and figured, yeah, let's get Brent over the top. So I think on the last stream we ended at 477. So I thought, well, we need to set a new goal because it's not even February yet, and we already reached our goal of 475. So I figured it's probably guaranteed we'll get 475. So I figured let's stretch to 480. So, well, we've already demolished that. We're at 481. Thank you to you guys. You're the ones making the poor decision to click on that subscribe button. And so I figure, yeah, let's see if we can get to 490 by the end of 2026. I think that's doable. So, because I was planning to get to 475 and just coast for the rest of the year. Maybe do a few pecker ring streams. Yeah, here we go. I just gave a live update. This, this is what we're at here. So we're at 481. So I think 490 is a reachable goal for the end of 2026. So we'll just keep moving the goalposts inch by inch. But yeah, you guys give yourselves a high five or a pat on the back, or go celebrate by slapping on a pecker ring. Well, maybe it's live up. Let's go to analytics. Maybe somebody unsubscribed already. It says 480 updating live. Yeah, maybe one of you guys dipped. So, let's see. Yeah, on the analytics page it does say 480. So, well, we're at 480. Let's go for 490. I think that's doable. Probably Aaron. Yeah. 0 to 481 in 12 months. How about that? And that's with some very mediocre content. What the fudge? It says there was 349 views on this shitty ass stream. That's terrible. What's going on? Yeah, some people, they just click on it and say, too tweaky, and they'll watch for 2 seconds and then swipe to the next video. But to you poor souls that stick with it for the long run, well, again, I'm not going to be responsible for your bad decisions. But I'm glad to have you anyway. Oh yeah, my current subs went down to 480 on the main page. So I guess somebody had somebody took stock of their life and realized, yeah, I don't want to have any part of this. I don't think I'm being shadow banned. I think what's required is you actually have to put some effort into this. Like, actually make some good thumbnails, do the hashtags, make some content that's watchable instead of festery and tweaky. So we'll see. I don't think shadow banning is going on, but or I think Joe might have hit it on the head. There could be a direct tweaka sabotage. I guess that's that's not shadow banning. That's like diaper banning. Shadow diapering. Is that what's happening? I think it's something like that. I think I saw DirectD went live yesterday. The title of his live had to do with the pew-pews, the toolies. Some people like packing the toolies and then going to protests because of the Second Amendment. So he was talking about Second Amendment stuff, or no, it was about I think maybe your director of Homeland Security or something, the brown skin fella there. It had to do with taking away your guns or something. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that guy, he's not allowed within a long distance of any pew pews, yeah? So I kind of, I don't know what his thing is. I did not click on the direct diaper live, but he did go live. Yeah, I really hope he can't tag me. That wouldn't be good for anybody. But yeah, to go out of your way to comment on stuff that's probably mostly a psyop anyway. It either reveals you're part of the scam or you've been scammed. So I don't think anybody ought to be alarmed by any of the developments because it's just a bunch of bullshit. So. It just distracts you from smoking your cigarettes and drinking your coffee, which is bad form. Very bad form. Yeah, I see there's people like from across the world, for whatever reason, clicking on this content. And I should just, I should have a link straight to Aaron Queen's page. Just reminds me of everyone I've met from Riverside County. Yeah, that's. I'm assuming that's not a good thing. If everybody in Riverside was walking around with neck tattoos and a big man gash between their legs, that's not interested. I don't want to be there. That's a hard pass for me. You can feel free to stream your man gash content and we'll laugh at you, but some of it is funnier than other stuff. So we're still keeping our eyes on the internet crash outs. But there's not a lot of crashing out to do. There's just power smoke wrenching. What else is there to watch out there? Has anybody found anything interesting to watch? There's like nothing. Deader D strikes again, says King Chow Chow. It's 5:13 somewhere, not here. But I know where my dog's at. He's on the frickin'. He's on my bed. Good to see you, Tag. You got other people's coming in or what? What's going on? You on live chat? East Carbon here? I didn't see East Carbon. See lots of emotes here. Keep them emotes coming. I am in Pacific time. Mountain time is tweaker time. That's all the tweakers are on mountain time. I'm on Pacific. So tweakers get to tweak an extra hour ahead of me. Sun is just going down here. But you notice the days are getting longer? I've been noticing. Slowly but slowly, the days are getting longer, which is nice. Pacific here is way farther west. Well, I'm more or less in a. Let's see. Let's see if we can give you some. Some geographical references to how far west I am. So there's me. See, I'm farther west than Spokane. I'm pretty much due north of Yakima, Washington. Uh, I'm due north of the Nevada-California border. So Reno would be directly south of me. Yeah, Spokane is a little to the east of me. Yakima is just slightly to the west of me. But if you were to go to the California-Nevada border, which is just a line on my app here. Well, where does Pacific time start? So it's like Reno is right on the border there with California, pretty much. Uh, so all of California is on Pacific time. Spokane is a weird town. I don't know what to make of Spokane. Driven through there a number of times. It seems pretty tweaky. I don't think I'd be spending much time in Spokane unless I had to. But yeah, we're still planning to hook up with Mr. O at some point. So maybe before springtime, if I decide to do that trek across the landmass known as America. On the way back here, we'll plan a hookup. I'll take a different route this time. I'm not going to go through Yellowstone. That was retarded. I'll just take interstate all the way. Forget all those funky back roads that I took. All the turkey trails. Yeah, only half of Washington and Oregon. So yeah, it's same here. Half of British Columbia is on Mountain Time. Half is on Pacific Time. Or not half. It's a weird shaped landmass province. There's diagonals that cut from northwest to southeast across the Rocky Mountain Range. So, but I am in Pacific Time here. And oh yeah, so the trek to Vancouver, it's going to be about 1,000 kilometers round trip, about 600 miles. So I think I'll do an oil change once I get back here from Vancouver. Our western tip of the west coast is a little farther west, yes. So I don't even know if I'm in the Rocky Mountain Range here or where. I guess I'm in the Columbia Range. Columbia Mountains. The Caribou Range is just kind of to the west of that, so the Monashee Range. So it's there's all kinds of different ranges. I think the the Rocky Mountain Range kind of peters out in Wyoming. Again, I don't know why you'd want to go there. I just call it once I'm in BC, it's all rocky and it's all mountain. But yeah, to be more precise, I'm just west of the Caribou Range and the, what I could say, the Monashee Range. Who knows? Where'd it go? Yeah, Caribou Mountains and where'd that other one go? The Monashee Mountains. And then you got the Coast Range. Farther west you go. With a big ass desert in between there. Oh, whatever. I'm right here. I'm the blue dot. So self-doxed Sierra Nevada. I don't know if the Sierra Nevadas come up to Canada. I think that's an American thing. I'm in the North Thompson River Valley here. I believe. Could be wrong. Whatever. Who cares? But yeah, I think I'm gonna migrate and relocate a little farther south eventually. There are some opportunities maybe to the north, but the big town kind of to the northwest of me is Prince George, and I'm not too excited about heading there. You can head really far up into the wilderness, but again, less access to certain things that I want to have access to, like car parts and whatnot. If you could pick a ranch or farm anywhere, I am liking, well, I shouldn't say. I wanted on my last RV trek to head through the northeast corner of Washington state, kind of on the edge of the desert and the mountains there. There's lots of cheap land and workable land around there if I decided to try to purchase some land. But the whole Okanagan Valley, which is to the south of me, there's some great farming opportunities there, even as a farm worker. I wish there was better farming in some temperate areas to the north, but it gets pretty much just boreal forest and short summers and long winters, and just not enough daylight to do any significant ranching. Basically be herding mountain goats, I guess, or moose or elk. But to the south of me, that's kind of where the ranching is at. But even as far south as that northeastern quadrant of Washington state, I think if someone was looking to homestead, you'd probably find some nice communities around there and nice properties available. I haven't checked any of the listings. I was checking some of the listings around here locally for housing, for real estate, and uh, there's some opportunities. It can be pricey. It can be pricey. Uh, California, Southern Oregon, coast region. Yeah, I've been through Oregon north to south on that Pacific Highway. It was a I-5. Oregon doesn't excite me a whole lot, at least that far west. California, not terribly interested in that. Uh, Maybe some of the western or eastern portions of California are doable. It's been years since I've been through there. I do like a certain amount of coniferous trees available. That's just me. Maybe it's the smell, all the rosin and the natural oils in that forest, but yeah, the Okanagan region is kind of very pretty, very accessible for farming, but very expensive. So, but once you cross the border into America, Washington State, I think the northern nethermost regions of Washington, very beautiful, very accessible, and depending on what your budget, I think very doable. Some of those smells, yeah, the smells of the big feet, the Bigfoots. But that's just me. And nothing against the prairies too, but man, for the last week they've had uh, abysmally cold weather, and I would just, if I had stayed back there for this winter, I'd be punching myself in the face like just all day. Like it was minus 35 Celsius, which is pretty much close to minus 35 Fester. I mean that's just insanely cold and windy too. Like 30 mile, 40 mile an hour winds. Like it's just ghastly, absolutely ghastly. I remember going into Canada around the Flathead Reservation, pulled over the pine, smelled so good. Yep. Well, even last week, like those uh, those aromatic stands of trees aren't that smelly. You, you don't have that tree stink so much in the wintertime, but come springtime and summertime, it's just almost intoxicating. But I could smell the cedars. Spring, late May and June is my favorite time on the prairie. May can still be pretty hairy back home. May long weekend is kind of was the day to get your uh, okay, for us May long weekend is like the third weekend in May. I think you guys have like Columbus Day or something. I forget what your national holiday is, but our national holiday is the third weekend in May, and that's typically when you put your veggies in the garden, anticipating that there's not going to be any more frost. So vegetables and plants that you plan to grow for food, you don't want to be doing them in the early part of May on the prairies because there's still a risk of frost. So whereas here where I am, by March 1st, you can already be starting to think about putting your hardier vegetables in the ground, your carrots, and then by the end of March, you're putting tomatoes in and all that good stuff. So So significantly longer growing season out west here. We still have snow piles in June. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I don't anticipate doing any gardening this year. Like I don't have a place to garden, but if I wanted to, there's uh, there's a significantly different growing season here. Like it's March to November essentially, whereas back home on the prairies, it's June to mid-September. We never even noticed you were gone, was Mattel. Never even noticed. But good to have you back. Delighted to have you back. We're just rambling on and on talking about nothing as usual. You could sprinkle seeds in random places. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, do a little bit of that stealth gardening, guerrilla gardening. As I was saying before, I don't think this is going to be my place to settle. Uh, that could change. Everything ground to a halt? I wouldn't say, I wouldn't go that far. It ground to a higher level of discussion. Let's see. We've elevated the discussion in your absence. So, what do you got growing this year in your garden, What's the Matau? Eggplant, watermelon. Uh, kind of things are you growing? Poppy seeds. There you go. So Portland's going to be the poppy seed capital. Portland can garden all year. Yeah, what are you pulling out of the garden these days, Wasamatau? Saw you had some pretty hard frost the other day. Got a little booger hanging off my microphone. I think this mic sounds half decent. I was expecting it to be a little more crisp. I perfected growing and milking somniferums. Well, there you go. Is somniferums another name for BBC or like what is that? You get them to grow and then you milk them things, milk that thing. Now coca plants, those are difficult. They just very unhappy. Well, go find yourself a mountain and get them coca plants all good and happy. See, problem solved. Come here with your problems, you walk away with solutions. We're solution oriented here. Just go on, walk up the side of the mountain, and you're good to go. Coffee's good to go. Rose capital of something something. Stump City. Is that like Slab City and Dirt Town? Mr. O wanted to take me to Dirt Town or something. We're gonna go check out the tweekas in Dirt Town. Somniferum, the Persian princess. Hens and chicks, peony poppies, all those. Alright. Hens and chicks, I don't think they like being milked. I think they just prefer if you gather the eggs. And don't try milking them hens. I've never tried milking a hen. I think it kind of goes without saying. Leave them hens alone. Hey, farmer, leave them hens alone. Stumps in the middle of the streets? Yeah, I'd avoid Imperial County as well, if that's the case. That doesn't sound like good public works department taking care of you there if they're just letting the stumps grow in the middle of the streets. Even Manitoba, they'd cut the stumps out. Although the people, they're so brain dead they wouldn't even complain anyway if there were stumps. Coffee gone. Well, now we got Dr. Pepper left. Max is side-eyeing me like I don't know. You expect something. What's going on here? Imperial County is where. Oh man, I gotta blow this chat up. I can't even see. That's better. Let's go. Why am I on top chat? Stump City was Portland? Don't scratch the skin. Don't get it caught in your zipper either. That'll stop circulation like big time. Lots of math. Lots of hooligans. All right. What's Matau is dreaming of milking. He's got milk on the brain. He's got the plant juice, the plant jizz on the brain. Don't go too deep. Well, I think it's almost nap time. I didn't get my afternoon nap in. How long have we been going here? Probably too long, too. Dang, almost 2 hours. I'm just making random statements. I guess it's disputable whether you're spitting facts or just spurging out on the chats here. Greg Bonvino is also, never heard of him. Plant medicine. Well, we know you've experimented with pretty much every substance known to man. Plant, animal, and mineral. Nazi ice guy. Yeah, I don't know. With growing them. We got a grower. We got a grower here. We found one that can grow. Well, you keep growing. You got a green thumb. See, I'm trying to cultivate my yellow fingers, not so much a green thumb. Can you grow math? if you can grow math, then what's the Matau is the one who could do it. And if you can't grow it, then just go ahead and cook it. Cracky plants. Well, duh. He's your man. What's the Matau's got that crop of cracky plants. But yeah, I am quickly running out of energy here. You going live today? What's my oh, it's already past 4:20, so you missed your window there. Gotta keep burping the bottle. All right, you're getting super technical here. But I'm thinking tomorrow we do a Tweak a Burrito episode. If not a Bigfoot interview. I say I'm still waiting on the Bigfoot guy. I'm not gonna go chase him down. We'll get that interview done at some point, and I'll continue wrenching on the old 6-liter. I don't know if I'm going to show you much repairs that I do tomorrow. Unless I can definitively show that there's a leak coming from somewhere other than everything I've just sealed off. And then we'll proceed from there. But I might just slap it all together, fire it up, get that oil circulating again. I gotta find a funnel because I said I was gonna load up those oil rails to prime the injectors rather than just let all that air pass through the system. Again, doing that air leak test, it's kind of, you need the oil in the system to seal everything, and the engine hasn't run, so at this point it's not a definitive test anyway, so I might just put it all together, start it up, like it'll start, get it good and hot, and see if I still have that hot no start condition. And then really the leak test, I could do it again because I got to go to that high pressure oil intake cover anyway. And then do the air leak test after the motor's been running. And all that high pressure oil has properly seated all those seals. Like that engine is stone cold right now. So we'll see. I might have it fired up tomorrow, just for something to do. It's really, I say that air leak test is kind of meant for when the engine is hot and the oil's been flowing through it already. Putting it back together cold, that air might just find a way. But that's low pressure air. It's like 100 psi. Where the oil, it's going to be much higher psi, but it's got that lubricity and viscosity. It's going to seal everything up. So the air at this point is not a definitive test. I will kind of dwell on that and see what is the best tack to take. So I might just get her fired up, because all that stuff I've removed so far, it's, as I said, it's pretty pretty straightforward how to get it all back in place and fired up. It's not cylinder number one. No, the cylinders are all good. Not worried about any of the cylinders. It's got good compression. Even if it was bad compression, it wouldn't cause a hot nose start. And the compression comes like, I guess those little copper crush washers that I showed you, crush seals, that go in the ends of the injectors. Those might possibly leak, but they're all torqued down and seated properly, so yeah, I've had plenty of time to think about it. You're just being that guy. But yeah, I had done, well, you can hear when you're cranking, it's a very even cadence as the starter is cranking the engine. Is rather than like you'd hear a variation in the cadence as you're trying to build compression to get the fire, or to get the engine started. And my scan tool does a relative compression test as well, or at least a cylinder contribution test. I don't think I've done one lately, but yeah, I got some Flex Seal left. But I'm not worried about the rings or the bottom end in that motor. It's pretty solid. Not worried about the head gaskets at this point. The compression is where I want it to be. If it wasn't, then I wouldn't be panicking, but I wouldn't have gone about it this way. I'd just park it for the winter and attack it in the spring. But my engine cylinder compressions are good as far as I know. High temp Flex Seal. Well, I got some Flex Seal tape, I got some Flex Seal spray, I got some Flex Seal stuff you brush on, you just schmoo it on. That's pretty decent product. I found some good double-sided tape here too. I don't know where I put that. Another made on TV. Guys off, tell me if you got this product available to you. Where did I put that? Shit. I think it's over here. This I wanted to try, not for the truck so much. Where'd it go? No, that's not it. What the hell is all this? Got too much shit back here. I think it's called Alien Tape. Some really good, strong, double-sided tape. Sort of like carpet tape. But I don't know. I can't find it. Pilates Seal. There you go. Forget the Flex Seal. I like that Flex Seal. I'm going to do the whole top of the roof of the RV. I did the front part of the roof that had leaks, and it's been leak free there. But I'm going to do the whole roof. I've got an old TV antenna that it's got to be removed. There's still some areas that need attention here, but I'll show you. This thing, you crank on this, and then there was some previous water damage, and there was still a leak up here. But I went and sealed it up top in this vent. That vent, that bubble plastic window is screwed down, so I can't open it with this cranker. But this doodad here is going to be removed because it cranks up the old school rabbit ears antenna for the television. So we're going to pull that out, patch it up, and then slather it with the Flex Seal, and then find any other areas up top and just cover that whole thing with a good generous layer of Flex Seal. And then park it in the desert. Yeah. But them ultraviolet rays can do a number on the roof as well. But in general, the roof was in half decent shape except for the front portion of the RV. That was pretty rough. So that needed immediate attention, and so I'll probably go grab a gallon of that Flex Seal and just pour it everywhere. Just let it run into every nook and cranny. But there's some stuff that's just gonna wait till the spring. Got to wait till the temperature warms up a bit before I try to apply any of that Flex Seal outside. And then there's some refinishing to do inside here. Well, it's a project, but it'll be roadworthy in the meantime. And we'll take you along as those projects unfold, as they materialize, but that's all future. The immediate future, God willing, should I make it through the night, is to continue working on that FIRD outside. Got to get that FIRD running. Well, that's about all I got for you today. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, save, buy me a coffee, become a member, Fester, Tweak, Milk. Don't forget your cock rings. What else you got to do? Do a leak test if required. I'll let you determine whether that's the wisest course of action to take. Every situation is different after all, but if you need to do a leak test, go on right ahead. Just make sure you got the right fittings, and for goodness sake, don't exceed the maximum allowable pressure. Otherwise, I'm not going to be, well, in any case, I'm not going to be liable for any ill consequences that may arise. So, as Wasamatau always says, give the old half salute. Do this thing, do this thing, do this thing, that thing, and I guess we'll catch you on American refugees. Not so much. I think we're refugeed up to here already, so doesn't matter what your passport says. If you're a refugee, go to Sweden or something. Sweden doesn't seem to care. So, people are starting to notice here the burden of the refugees is. Yeah, it doesn't matter how white you are. I mean, I'm white enough, and I can barely tolerate myself being here. But yeah, no more refugees. We're full. We're no vacancy. Unless you're a scout. Send your scouts, but the dudes can stay home. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for leaving. Stay out of Canada.